So great to be here again. We were here yesterday to talk about housing. We're here today to talk again about housing. It's great to have some folks who have joined us today. I just want to give a quick shout out to Council members Nancy Van Rees and Council members Brenda Haywood. I know are here. We also have two state representatives. We've got Jason Powell and John Ray Clemens. Thank you all for being here. I always think it's exciting when folks come who show up, who are elected, because they know how important this is. We also have a representation from Congressman Jim Cooper's office. Kathy Buggs is here. Kathy, thank you for being here. And we have representatives from the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. So thank you all for being here. So I'm standing here with Ralph Perry. We've got some great announcement today. I'm very proud to join the Tennessee Housing Development Agency to announce a new program offering down payment assistance to home buyers who are moving into neighborhoods that have been hit hard in the recession. So this is really great news for Nashvillians. This program is going to bring stability to property values and make neighborhoods safer by attracting more residents who will be invested there. Ralph Perry, the executive director of the THDA, will share all of the details here in a second, but I can go ahead and I can tell you a couple of things. This program is just another great tool in our toolbox as we work to create and preserve more affordable housing in Nashville and Davidson County. We hear all the time how important affordable housing is for Nashvillians, and that has been absolutely one of my top priorities since day one. So overall, Nashville is growing at a tremendous pace, and that's been good for lots of companies and lots of people. But we know that there are still our residents out there who are struggling, and we want to do everything that we can as a government to ensure that working families can continue to live in Nashville. The THDA Down Payment Assistance Program is going to help home buyers who want to move into neighborhoods in the following zip codes: 37086, 37115, 37207, 37208, 37217, and 37218. These neighborhoods stretch from North Nashville over to Murfreesboro Pike and from Madison to Ashland City Highway. But this program is also for families who have made smart investments in new homes many years ago, only to watch their neighborhoods start deteriorating. And we want to help those families by increasing attention and home sales in their areas. When we do that, we can make a big difference in the quality of life for our citizens. So I want to thank Ralph and his amazing team at the Tennessee Housing Development Agency. I also want to thank the U.S. Department of Treasury for making this funding possible. Partnerships like this are the exact way to go. They make a huge difference in the lives of Nashvillians. And now I'm honored to introduce Ralph Perry. Ralph has been the executive director of THDA for the past 4 years, after serving 9 years on the agency's board of directors. And he also serves as the vice president of the National Council of State Housing Agencies. So Ralph, take it away, Ralph. Here, I'll get this out of your way.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mayor,
Ralph.
very much. We appreciate the opportunity to have you with us and to work with your housing team. Adrian Harris, Morgan Mansa have been a delight to work with. And I'm encouraged at the opportunity we have to leverage our mutual resources to address our concerns for affordable housing. You know, Mayor Barry has spoken often and reminded us eloquently at times that for all the good things that are happening in Nashville, there are areas of our community that have not shared fully in the city's success. So one thing I'm particularly proud of with the program that we get to announce today is that it will help strengthen and stabilize some of those areas and actually encourage people to make a home ownership investment there. And I want to give credit where credit is due. These are funds we get from the U.S. Department of Treasury as part of their Hardest Hit Fund. And especially, I want to thank them for giving Tennessee the flexibility to target at the zip code level. I'm not aware that they've let any other state do that. And it gives us the ability to target areas of Davidson County, even though there's not much about Nashville as a whole that says hardest hit to anybody. So we're encouraged about that. The program that Tennessee Housing is announcing today makes available $15,000 of down payment assistance to THDA eligible buyers who are going to buy a home in one of these targeted zip codes. Now, it's not a gift, it's not a grant. We structure it as a second mortgage, a soft second, if you will. Forgivable over 10 years, during which time the borrower accrues no interest and makes no payment. And beginning in year 6, 20% of the note is forgiven, so that at the end of 10 years, there's no further obligation to repay that down payment. We structured it that way because neighborhood stabilization and revitalization requires more than investment. It requires the presence of an invested homeowner, and we think this program will encourage that very thing. I have to believe there are still a lot of people in and around Nashville who aspire to home ownership and who have heard a lot of things about how hard it is to get a mortgage and may have thought that home ownership is out of reach. I want to suggest that they will be very pleasantly surprised to learn that with THDA's Great Choice Mortgages, coupled with $15,000 of down payment and closing cost assistance, home ownership opportunity is actually much closer at hand than you had imagined. There's full information at our consumer website, which is simply greatchoicetn.com. But the short version of who a THDA eligible borrower is this. And this will surprise some people. 1 and 2 person households earning up to $82,000 can qualify for THDA financing. Larger households can earn up to almost $96,000 and qualify for THDA financing. We want to see a minimum credit score of 640. We want to cap the debt-to-income ratio at 45%. But if that sounds like you or someone you know, take a few minutes at greatchoicetn.com. Click on that first-time home buyer for full details on the program, as well as a list of the lenders here who offer Great Choice products and the home ownership counselors who will help you get started. Our aspiration at Tennessee Housing is pretty simple. We want to meaningfully expand affordable housing opportunity for Tennesseans. It's a goal we share with Mayor Barry and her administration. We think this is going to make it possible for many more Tennesseans of modest income to realize their own piece of the American dream, and in so doing, strengthen the neighborhoods all across this city. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be pleased to take some questions. I imagine you have some.
We will, and actually I'm going to invite, while we're taking the questions so that you all can be up on stage, can I have my state representatives and my council members, because
Fine
I think you all, these are your neighborhoods that we're going to be able to help your constituents. So come on up. We'd love to have you all on the stage with us. Hello, State Representative. It's good to see you.
Always good to see you
Guys, I'm glad you guys are up here.
Gilmore?
Here, let me get out of your way.
Come in.
So,
Good to see you.
any questions about this that we can answer? Yes.
I came a little late, so excuse me. We went to the wrong building. It's my fault. And so I'm sure I missed it. I'm sure it's in here. But can you just talk about where does this money come from? How does
Sure.
it-
Ralph, you
Sure.
want to talk?
These are funds allocated to Tennessee under the Federal Treasury, the U.S. Treasury Department's Hardest Hit Fund. We're putting about an additional $60 million into this effort. They allowed us to target on the zip code level, so a THDA eligible borrower interested in buying a home in these targeted areas will get from us $15,000 in down payment and closing cost assistance in the form of a forgivable second mortgage. It's forgivable over 10 years, during which time there's no interest, no payment to the borrower.
And Ralph, talk a little bit about income eligibility
Sure.
requirements.
Actually, throughout the Nashville MSA, 1 and 2 person households earning up to $82,000 can qualify for THDA financing. Larger households can be earning up to $96,000 and still qualify for THDA financing. What we recommend to people is go to our consumer site, greatchoicetn.com, click on First Time Home Buyer. It'll give you details on the program. It will also give you a list of the lenders in this area who offer our products and the down payment assistance, and that list of home buyer education counselors who can help people get started.
Ralph, because that bracket of people who's going to apply is a little, the income bracket is a little higher than one might expect. Is it to attract middle income families to these?
Well, it's well within what we're chartered to do. Our mortgage program, it can't really be described as a poverty program, because to succeed in home ownership, your earnings have to be sufficient to cover the cost of the home that you want to buy, and your credit history has to suggest a willingness to keep paying that mortgage. Those income limits are actually set by formula each year, and I think it reflects a strong, growing market here in Nashville that we're able to reach incomes that high.
Yeah, Ralph, have you Is the THDA had programs like incentive programs like this in the past, or is this a
Mm-hmm.
new kind of approach to this? Talk about
This is sort of an enhancement of what we've offered all along. Our regular Great Choice Down Payment Assistance Program, which is available all across the state, will offer a buyer the option of taking up to 5% of the purchase price as down payment and closing cost assistance. The terms on that are somewhat different, but we felt with the opportunity to gain additional funding from the Hardest Hit Fund, target it more specifically, and provide that forgivability incentive over 10 years, it gives an enhancement and an additional incentive and assistance for people who want to buy in one of these neighborhoods that I guess you could say have been a little slower recovering from the downturn.
And just to clarify, it's just for first-time home buyers or people who have owned homes before?
There are some limited exceptions. Primarily, it's going to be first-time home buyers. If someone has any sort of a military, National Guard connection, we waive the first-time home buyer requirement. And there are actually a limited number of census tracts within these zip codes where we can also waive the first-time home buyer requirement. And just to be clear, first-time home buyer, that means someone who has not owned their home in the last 3 years. But I think we have pretty good detailed maps and information available about those places. But for the most part, this is going to be a product for first-time home buyers.
When can I start applying?
They can start that process right away. We expect that we'll start processing these for the down payment on March 1st. We want to give our lenders and realtors and other industry partners a few weeks to prepare.
Anything else? All right, y'all.
Great.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks
for being
very
here.
much.
Thank you all for being
Thank
here.
you.
This is great. This is great news for
Thank
you
you,
guys.
sir.